Hello students, welcome back. So students, today's English class we will be continuing with our English lesson. The first part we have already done. That is the chapter's name is Books Make Good Pets. That is part 2. In the first part we have already read about the author. I read the poem out for you. Okay. I give you a short summary what the poet is trying to convey. Now let me continue. Actually, here the poet is actually comparing book to various pets that we have. Okay, and he's trying to say that in if it's a book, we don't have to. They don't require maintenance. You can just keep it on the shelf, and after years, even after many years, you can pick that book. You can read it. It is as safe for you. It is not damaged. Okay, like how it is comparing the book to a shell of a turtle where the book is kept safe, and you can read it as many times as you want. You can just a flick of the page is required, wherein which you can get the content and the matter that you want. Okay, they are more patient, they are more dependable, and they have a long life. It is comparing again to a life of a tortoise. As we know that turtles have a very long life. So, and like it is also comparing it to a, it's like colorful. It is comparing itself to a goldfish. The poet is saying it's a like a goldfish in a bowl, in the limited shape, and there is vast knowledge kept inside the book. Okay, the content is so vast. There's so much knowledge we gain. So it is just comparing the book to a goldfish in a small bowl. This is what the poet is trying to convey in this poem. Now I will just read out the first stanza for you. Just pay attention. So on your screen you have this: book make good pets and don't need going to the vet. Vet is a veterinary doctor. One curious look sets them purring on the cushion of your eyes, as if to say, dear browser. Browser means you're just flicking the pages. You browsing anything that you search for, that is browsing. You can in that particular page see there are 3 words given. The meaning is given there. Browser meaning is given. You have picked me up before and thrown me aside. The poet is saying that you have just finished reading and you have placed me aside. But I have more than 9 lives and no need to keep twiddling that piece of string. The poet is saying that if you have got bored of me, you have placed it in the shelf, I am still lying there safely. Okay, so this is what the poet is trying to convey in this stanza. Let me read it out for you once more. Books make good pets and don't need going to the vet. One curious look sets them purring on the cushion of your eyes, as if to say, dear browser, you have picked me up before and thrown me aside, but I have more than 9 lives and no need to keep twiddling that piece of string. Let's move ahead. Books make good pets and don't need going to the vet. You don't have to keep them on a lead or throw them a stick. They'll wag their tails when you flick their dog eared pages. Here in this stanza, the poet is comparing the book to a dog. Like you don't have to go in, take him to the vet. That is the first 2 lines. Then you don't need to train a book, like you have to train a dog. You don't need to throw a stick there and ask him to go and get it for you. Okay, and you don't have to coax him to wag their tails. It is You have to just flick the pages, flick a page, and you will get what you want. Okay, so in this stanza, poet is comparing a book to the dog. Let me read the stanza once again for you. Books make good pets and don't need going to the vet. You don't have to keep them on a lead or throw them a stick, or they'll wag their tails when you flick their dog-eared pages. Dog-eared pages means like the corner. If you notice your rough books, maybe when your 200 pages book, when it is coming to an end after using continuously, when you flick the pages, what happens? The corner of that book page gets turned, right? So the poet is comparing dog-eared pages. Like, see, after continuous flicking, when you will notice that mostly with the book wherein you use that book continuously and you flick the pages, that corner end of that page will get turned, curled up. That is dog-eared pages. So let us move ahead. Here we have this stanza for you. Book make good pets and don't need going to the vet. They'll hibernate in the shells of their covers and patiently wait as long as centuries to be rediscovered in their own good time when some reader rolls them over on their cracked spine. Here the book poet is comparing the book to a tortoise or a turtle, wherein the if you in case you I said, in case you keep a book on your shelf and then you forget about it, after 10 years 15 years you pick that book, so the book is, it is like hibernating beneath the shell of that turtle. It is comparing, the poet is comparing that way. And after as long as centuries to then maybe after many years you pick that book again, it is in the same good condition. You can continue with your reading. So this here the poet is trying to compare the book to a turtle's shell. Okay, now let me read that stanza once again for you. Books make good pets and don't need going to the vet. They'll hibernate in the shell of their covers, patiently waiting as long as centuries to be rediscovered in their own good time when some reader rolls them over on their cracked spine. Maybe after keeping for many years the books, you know that the stitch that joint and all may be little worn out, they may get little cracked. But so here that second last line, on their cracked spine, so here the poet is referring to that. Let us move further. Now we have this stanza for you. Books make good pets and don't need going to the vet. They are as colorful as goldfish in all their stillness, and believe me, this is no whim. Books can glow and swim in the bowl of your imagination. Here, the poet is comparing the book to a goldfish inside a small bowl. Okay, it is saying that within that book is so fanciful, according to whatever you have lot of interest. If that book is of your taste, it will the whatever the contents are in that book, it will not get worn out, wiped out. Whenever you want to read it according to your wish and your whims and fancies, the book will give you the same knowledge. Just because many years have passed, the book will not be worn out. It will be as colorful as a goldfish, and it will always cater to your imagination. You will feel it more interesting, more fanciful. This is what the poet is trying to say in this paragraph, in this stanza. So let me read it out to you once again. Books can make good pets and don't need going to the vet. They are as colorful as goldfish in all their stillness. And believe me, this is no whim. Books can glow and swim in the bowl of your imagination. You can read it and go and you can imagine things, get lot of knowledge. This is what the poet is trying to convey in this particular stanza. So students, this was a very beautiful poem and very interesting, very fanciful. It makes you wonder how can the poet compare the book to so many pets that you have at home. Okay, so this was the beautiful poem. So let us now do a small, I'll ask you a few questions. Okay, we'll have a recap. Now, here's a simple question. Name the animals mentioned in the poem. There were so many animals, pets that were mentioned in the 4 stanzas that we just read. So here we have one cat, dog, turtle, goldfish are the animals mentioned in the poem. Next, which lines state that books are compared to turtles? Let us find out. Here we have this answer. They'll hibernate in the shell of their covers and patiently wait as long as centuries to be rediscovered. Here these lines, they tell us that the poet is comparing the book to a turtle, wherein you have kept that book as safely in a shelf and it is lying there. It is kept, nobody has disturbed it. It is not getting damaged. Maybe after many years, slight worn out will be there for maybe the stitches and all may be loose, that in the every book is stitched properly, right? Maybe the poet is just comparing that. He's saying that they'll hibernate in the shell of their covers and patiently wait as long as centuries to be rediscovered. It is waiting so that somebody will again come and pick the book and start reading it once again. So these lines state that wherein the poet is comparing the book to a turtle. So students, this was a very beautiful poem. I hope you have understood this poem. Very interesting. And as you know, we have started with our live online classes. We have started with reading assessment and we'll be taking poem recitation also. So what you have to do is practice reading. I found that some students need to improve in their reading. So you have to see to it that you read. The reading practice has to be done. Recitation also, whichever poem is mentioned, you have to learn those poems. Assessment will be taken, and please see to it that when the timing is given, you log in well in advance, like at least 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before. You have to be ready, okay, so that we have to waste our time. And I have to admit you after once the class is started, so you will not miss anything. So this was just a hint given to you regarding the online live session. So students, I hope you are all reading, seeing the videos, reading that, also learning the notes. Reading the textbook is very important. So students, we shall, I hope you enjoyed this poem. This is in 2 parts. The first part also, we have read about the writer. Okay. So till we meet in the next class, students, have a nice day.